Welcome to Dracula Daily, for our 23rd installment, June 29th. And we are back at Castle Dracula with Jonathan, where he is struggling to regain that manly resolve that he arrived in Transylvania with. He witnesses Dracula climbing out his window and again going lizard fashion down the wall, again dressed in Jonathan's clothes. And Jonathan is like, dude, if I had a gun right now, I would totally have killed that guy. And we're all like, Jonathan, just a couple of days ago, you had Dracula completely at your mercy while he was asleep in his coffin, and you stood there over his inert form, and you panicked and ran away. I don't think even if you had a gun in this moment, you would do anything with it. But these are not easy things to deal with, obviously. Jonathan is being held prisoner by an evil vampire. And when that evil vampire announces that he will be leaving, Jonathan will probably never see him again, and that Jonathan will be returning to England, Jonathan knows that that means that he's probably a dead man, and he stands up to Dracula. He says, no, I'm leaving now. You can't stop me. And Dracula, enacting the classic dynamics of the domestic abuse scenario, says, of course you can leave, of course you can go. I would never keep you here against your will. You're my friend. Nothing is more important to me than our bond. Therefore, you can go. Just don't get eaten by the wolves, but I can't stop you. Jonathan responds to this by crumbling, weeping, covering his face to hide his tears, and running off to his room. So maybe hasn't entirely regained that Victorian ideal of masculinity, waiting outside of his room for their opportunity to have their way with him. The Brides of Dracula, the three sisters, are begging Dracula to let them at him. He says, no, you must wait one more night. Jonathan whips open his door to see the three sisters waiting for him there, and they laugh and run away, which is actually such a delightfully malicious and evil scene to think of. This sort of tittering like mischievous girls and running away. I picture them in this scenario like those two British twins, maybe 9 years old, who are complaining about the price of an ice cream cone, and at the end of their rant, they just start laughing and they run away. That's how I picture the brides here. They're just like full of malice and glee. And Jonathan has no weapons against such an attack except to slam the door, go back into his room, and hide in his bed. Maybe tomorrow, Jonathan.